Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And with that being said, let's dive in and let's start with these three tweets that I have in a row. It's from the Digital Pound Foundation, and we focused on them for a while. I think that initially on, I think it was around like September, October of 2021 when we initially seen the Digital Pound Foundation announce that they were working with Ripple as well as Quant in a co-led initiative around a digital pound. Now, since then, we've seen a lot more blossom into effect, especially from the Digital Pound Foundation. We've also seen the Digital Euro Association come out and talk about what they are doing around testing a new digital euro system, as well as ushering in a digital euro. A lot of things are moving pretty quick within these areas, but we do see a lot more happening. So we do see Bank Indonesia's new CBDC white paper outlines how shadow currencies and shadow central banking are furthering unregulated credit creation around the world through crypto. Not only did we see this, but we've also seen the Ukraine. The Ukraine Central Bank has released a statement on the concept of the hryvnia, which aims to perform all the functions of hryvnia by supplementing cash and non-cash forms as its key purpose. Three possible CBDC options are being considered. I actually think that the Ukraine already partnered with Stellar through something around their central bank digital currency. A lot of things were up in the air around that as well. I know that we were talking about that initially on going back to, I think it was around October of 2021 as well when we first seen that announced as well. And then from there, 2022 was like the big focus point on interoperability. And then from there, we seen a ton of CBDC discussions. But now we are seeing things move extremely fast, more than ever. In fact, this was in the last couple days alone. Like, this last tweet here was from the 29th of November. This was from the 30th of November, and this was from the 1st of December, which is crazy because this is three CBDC announcements right in a row. We actually do see here, the initiative shows how digital assets can be issued, distributed, and settled within the Eurozone in a single day, and confirms that a well-designed CBDC can play a critical role in the development of a safe tokenized financial asset space in Europe. Now, I want you all to understand that we've discussed CBDCs quite a bit in the past, more so in a negative light than ever before, but I want you also to understand the possible efficiencies from a CBDC system as well, which would be great. But the problem is that you can never trust what's going to happen around this because central banks would be fully in control. Now, one thing I would like to note, though, is that we also talk about commercial stablecoins on this channel. I just talked about commercial stablecoins with Quant, actually, and how it's disrupting commercial grade companies like even Volvo, Mercedes, a ton of major other corporations as well, and how it's boosting their efficiencies around their workflows. This would be a great thing to see. Is more so, okay, well, how could we have tokenized fiat and tokenized currencies without the possibility of retail privacy and protection being thrown out the window? Because that's a big thing. We want to have control over our money as well, but also have our privacy valued too. That's the biggest concern right now around CBDCs. Everything else looks great on paper because we are still utilizing DLT. Now, with this, we also seen over here from Anthony Welfare. The reason why I always say that we will see a large shift happening in fiat as well as the current monetary system is because of how inefficient this financial system actually is. This is why we do talk about CBDCs. This is why we talk about the initiatives being made around not only fiat, but also the entire financial system itself. Listen closely to this. This is talking about the financial system is inefficient for our needs today and not ready for Web3. Ripple CBDC, based on the XRP ledger, is built to help drive innovation in payment system.
A globally connected world. And also we work in different countries and send money back to family, friends. If you look at the financial system as a whole, it's fairly inefficient for what we do today. And it's really not really fit for purpose for the next generation, and especially for Web3 in the future next. So ultimately, what we see is the CBDC enabling all the innovation that's going to happen around Web3.
And again, as we usher into a digitized and tokenized age, tokenized fiat and tokenized currencies are inevitable. But I would love to see a vibrant ecosystem where CBDCs and fiat are both still being utilized on a major scale. I would love to keep fiat. I would love to have fiat still alive, well, and utilized in numbers, and also have CBDCs on the side if you wanted to choose to utilize CBDCs. Very similar to how you could choose to utilize cash or debit or credit card, which, by the way, that's also kind of getting extinct. I just went into a restaurant the other day. They did not accept cash at all. So you can kind of see the push towards a cashless society, which, again, a lot of people believe the dystopian, the future around cashless society and how control is going to be initiated. Again, we could only fear a lot of these things so often, right? Because we could talk about it all day long. We could speculate on what CBDCs and what the future around tokenized fiat is going to look like, but we could also focus on the benefits here, like I said, that we could see through this. Again, we have no idea how this system is going to be brought in, how it's going to be facilitated. All we do know is that there is a lot of concerns around it, and there should be. I think retail should be concerned for this, because this will change everything. Now, one thing I did want to focus on is going back to November 20th, or November 27th from 2022. This year, from Anthony Welfare, we do see the next level of interoperability for CBDCs is the ability to work for global transactions without seamless cross-border functionality. Most CBDC projects will significantly underachieve their potential. Now, I've included this tweet in a video recently. The reason why I bring this back up is I want you guys to understand that the thing about CBDCs, the thing about these central bank digital currencies being ushered in, is I always say that they 100% need crypto. They 100% need DLT through these systems, because without DLT, these CBDCs are just inefficient. They are just as inefficient as fiat. Now, we do see a few people talking down here. Just a tech guy. Pull the liquidity, easier legal governance framework by pairing to XRP, settle green, fast, and decentralized. Yeah, that would be the main idea around this. As everyone focuses on how negative CBDCs are, also look at the benefits for some of these tokens like XRP. A lot of people believe, like we see down here, XRP will bridge all CBDCs. If we pulled the liquidity around CBDCs and had it all paired to XRP, could you imagine how efficient the next major financial system would actually be? It would be night and day. But again, at what cost? Because, again, there's a lot of concerns around CBDCs. And then over here, we also do see from Rothschild von Bilderberg. I hope that I'm saying that name right, but we do see, is it still yet to click in most people's heads that XRP is actually meant for enterprise-grade use cases? So Coinbase, Wallet, and others halting support and Ripple buyback program is part of the grand plan to reduce retail access to XRP. Understand what you hold. Now, yes, as we focused on this, I also want you guys to understand that, we see a lot of discussions from Ripple centered on CBDCs and the future financial system. It's ever so clear to me that XRP was never positioned for you and me. It's more of like a liquidity provider for Ripple. And I know that sounds bad on paper, because a lot of people think like, okay, well, Ripple's selling, XRP for liquidity purposes, so they're dumping on retail individuals. That is not the case at all. But it's the idea that as we focused on what retail is for a lot of these companies, it's to provide a food chain aspect. You have retail sitting at the low end, and then enterprises and financial institutions at the top end for something like XRP. Why do I put it this way? Well, we are investors, right? We're investing in the grand scheme of things around XRP. The grand scheme here, and the grand plan, is the fact that Ripple is positioning XRP to be a bridge currency between all financial institutions, specifically central banks with central bank digital currencies. But also, as we focused on XRP, it's the standard around how money will be moved. In my opinion, as we focus on the bigger shift happening around the financial system towards digital assets as well as digitization, tokenization, it's more clear to me that XRP is the standard. XRP is going to facilitate major amounts of money movement. This is also why I say, like, XRP will be that $1 trillion plus standard. It will be the $156 trillion standard. What do I mean by that? Well, XRP is going after the cross-border payments sector. It's $156 trillion. But you got to also understand that it's valued at $200 plus trillion by 2027. So as we focus on what XRP is doing, XRP will be the standard for cross-border payments. It will be the $200 trillion plus standard. And this is going to be very exciting, and it's more apparent to me now than ever with a lot of the reports that we have seen back in November as well from like even the ECB, which yes, we will discuss down here. But listen closely to this quick clip. It's about 9 seconds long.
Joining us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple related to XRP. Joining.
Yeah, and again, it's more so centered on what Ripple is doing. Ripple's not, like, they always look at financial inclusion, right? Financial inclusion is the big retail use case. But besides that, there's not a lot that Ripple's offering to retail. They're not catering to retail like Stellar is, right? Stellar's centered on P2P. They're centered on retail. Ripple, they're not going after small chump change. They're going after the big money. They're going after the big money. And it's ever more apparent through their initiatives for CBDCs. They are preparing for whatever is going to come next. Will CBDCs ever materialize? We don't know. But all we know is that central banks and even governments are pushing heavy for CBDCs, which is also a big red flag, by the way. But they're pushing heavy for it, which will most likely assume that we will see it. And it's funny because we do see down here that from the ECB, so they want to release their central bank digital currency as well. We do see down here from a few people talking about central bank digital currencies. We do see that they recently put out this report, Bitcoin's last stand. So the apparent stabilization of Bitcoin's value is likely to be an artificially induced last gasp before the crypto asset embarks on a road to irrelevance. Now, I actually disagree with this because I believe that Bitcoin is going to be around for a very long time, but I do believe that it will be flipped at some point in time by a much larger asset. Talked about this many times in the past. But I also agree with the fact that Bitcoin is not going to be utilized for enterprise and financial institutions. It's just not. As much as I love what Bitcoin has done for this market, paving the way for all of these assets to be realized in, it's not going to be utilized within the financial system. It's just far too inefficient to move value the way XRP will, like XLM, like any of these other major tokens. And that's the harsh reality of Bitcoin. But again, I focus on the bigger picture here, which is where Ripple is positioning XRP. Because we know that these central banks understand that Bitcoin is not scalable enough, it's not efficient enough to move value the way these tokens like XRP were designed to do. We do see over here from eGreg Crypto, Coinbase Wallet is no longer going to support XRP 5/12/2022. I've seen a lot of people tagging me in this, by the way. Seen a lot of people talking to me about this, by the way. This is December 5th. We do see one making it more difficult for newbies to even touch XRP. Again, it's very hard to buy XRP for most people. Most people don't realize that you can go buy XRP on MEXC and instantly withdraw it over to your cold storage, by the way. If you guys did want to utilize MEXC, I have a link down in the description below as well as in the comments below. Again, I always say, never hold crypto on these exchanges. Always send it to cold storage. I only utilize them as an on and off ramp. But we do see the harsher they go against XRP, the more I get convinced it is the chosen one. And if you spent 5 years just digging deep into XRP, you know what you hold. Yeah, I do think that there will be a point where XRP will be unbuyable. I believe that XRP will be unbuyable for the retail sector. I don't think that the retail sector was supposed to be buying XRP. Now, I know that this, to some people, is a conspiracy theory. It's, speculation. But in my opinion, I don't believe that XRP was ever meant to be purchased by retail. It was supposed to be centered on institutions as well as the bigger money. That's just the truth of it. We could see where they are positioning XRP. We could see their end goal with XRP. And this is becoming a reality. We're seeing a big buyback program being initiated by Ripple. They have been buying up XRP for a while and reselling it to financial institutions and enterprise-grade customers. And this is only going to continue to heighten and gain a lot more traction as, guess what? Ripple and XRP gain a lot more traction as XRP becomes a lot more favorable, a lot more popular. And this is happening right now. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and to the Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys saw this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.